Okay, hi guys. Hello, welcome. This is Katy Mendoza, expanding consciousness in a fun and adventurous way. Welcome to my second live video. And I'm very excited. Thank you. First, before I continue, I want to say thank you to everybody that joined my previous one, the first one. We had an amazing like soul conversation with Alan. And in this video, I have the pleasure to experience and to give you the experience to experience two beautiful, amazing, very important ladies in my life. And they are going to be really touching base into sharing a little bit about their life as entrepreneurs and as financial coaches. So we're going to learn a lot in here, and we are going to connect. So before we start, I just really want to share a little bit about who they are, first of all, to me, and like my experience with them, you know, what the experience has been. First, we have Andrea Meneses. Andrea Meneses is my soul sister. I like to call her my soul sister. I know her for about 5 years, since I first moved to California, about 5 or 6 years. I lose track. She's literally like a sister, like a soul sister. And you know, she has always been an entrepreneurial kind of like mindset woman, and we actually worked together a while back. We both were personal trainers, and we did a lot of amazing projects together. We learned, we grew. Like, she has like a huge part in my heart, and she knows it. So right now, she's one of the people that I'm going to be showing you in these interviews, and she's going to be sharing her experience as an entrepreneur and her relationship also with Claudia, with the second lady that I'm going to be showing you. So Claudia, actually, I don't know her for that long the way that I know Andrea. I actually met Claudia maybe 6 months ago. I met Claudia 6 months ago through Andrea. And the moment that I met her, she has this like bright energy, and like just like, you know, it just makes you want to like be next to her, you know. And the amazing thing is that, you know, trusting my soul sister Andrea and trusting who she will bring, you know, in our space it was just beautiful. So I got the pleasure to, you know, meet and to exist and to really like be friends, and not just be friends, but like client and teacher and student with these two women. So these are very two strong, powerful women in my life that I'm very happy to experience and to share with you guys. So their story is basically, then they're gonna go over all of it. They're gonna like really like expand onto all of these things before they even expand on the actual topic of this video, which is going to be what they do and how they help people and how they maneuver and how they use the art of being an entrepreneur in so many different areas. And the main area in this video, it is the financial aspect of it. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about who they are and how they became together, and into what they do and what they did and what they're still doing for me together as one into the financial aspect. So they were actually, they went to high school together a long time ago. I don't know, I'm not gonna say their age. They went to high school together a long time ago. And, you know, life happens, whatever happens. After all these years, they finally got to reunite again after all these years. Maybe it's been a year that they reunited or 2 years. They're gonna tell you better later on. So they reunited, and the interesting thing was when they told me, I was like, damn, that is really cool. Andrea is a lifestyle coach, right? So actually, Claudia, when they reunited and they found each other again, and Claudia was Andrea's client. So Andrea was Claudia's lifestyle coach. And she will explain you later on what a lifestyle coach is. I asked her the same question. I know what you're thinking. What is that? what? You are gonna coach me through my lifestyle stuff? That's very cool. Yeah, that exists. So she's gonna tell us a little bit about that later on. So, they started working together, right? And then they ended up partnering up. So they ended up working together, right? So now it's not about only I'm gonna help you, but now it's like, hey, I have something to give, you have something to give. Let's both put something in the middle and make it grow and then give to other people. How cool is that? So I was one of the lucky people that they were able to share that combination of them two into something that I will never thought that I really will even think that I needed or that I could even do. And this is where all this topic really is gonna start getting really cool. I mean, and it's connecting to the whole topic of the video. So something that they did for me, I'm gonna share you my experience with what they do right now that they're gonna walk over and explain before they come in. So as financial advisors, I believe for what I remember, they can tell me if I'm wrong or not. It's been about, when did they first help me? It's been about maybe like 6 months. 6 months, I will say 6, 7 months. When, sorry, this is universe. This is for humans, baby. I'm sorry. About 6 months ago, Andrea, gives me a call, and she's like, hey, like, I'm very excited. I don't remember exactly how she said it, but she's like, I would love, I would love to come with this amazing woman, and just like talk about, what I'm learning, because at a point she was in the beginning of joining to work with her together through this like financial like help and coaching. And she's like, like, I would love to come and just like share everything that we have, and just for you to even like meet Claudia. Like, she's just a cool person. So they came to my house. I had no doubt to say yes. I'm like, yeah, and that's where it becomes so important. And also I learned the importance of like trusting, and that's one of the reasons why I'm also doing everything that I'm doing right now, is to share my experience with amazing people and with amazing different types of arts, products, and businesses. So she comes, they both come together, and they come to my house, and, I'm just open. I'm a very open-minded person, and I think that it's a very cool thing to be able to let yourself be open-minded, because there's so many opportunities that you can have. So they come and they start like, we start talking, very natural, very, very cool. And they start talking to me about, how, not even how they can help me, but just like, okay, what's going on in your life, about your finances, like, what do you want in your future, or do you have any money saved? Like, do you know where your money is going, and things like that they will expand later on. And all these different questions, and I'm like, wow, like, I never really like asked myself those questions, right? Where is my money going? I mean, back then, 6 months ago, I had just started a new job. I was in the middle of a huge transition in my life. Financially, I was not doing that great, and I never thought I would like could better my financial. I didn't know that there was like a way to save money. I have been trying to save money I have thought of it. I mean, I have times that I used to make a lot of money in my life, and I just never thought of even saving. Why? Because that's a mentality that a lot of people, wherever you were born or wherever it is, but most people, it's something that they don't teach you at school, right? Or maybe your parents don't know, they didn't do it. So you grew up, you didn't have that, you didn't learn that. So it's just natural not to really even think about it. So then they actually sat down with me, and they just like literally went over my expenses. They went over, how much money I was making at that time, and my goals, like what did I actually want it, for the future. And, you know, I'm just talking. I'm just like, okay, you're asking me questions. I'm just answering the questions. And then they actually like put everything down, you know, actually like in like legit paper, you know, my answers and everything, numbers. I don't like numbers. And that's why it's beautiful that there's people that do different kind of things, right? So we can all collaborate and help each other in different things that the other person is not their forte. So they come and they show me, right? Okay, so this is where your money is going for, you know, all the information that I have said, right? And this is how much you make, and they say whatever. And then they put it in my face, and I'm just like, wait a second, where is my actual, like, you're saying that I actually thinking about it and making actually, you know, being conscious, and all of that comes together and connected to what it is to expand your consciousness, right? To be conscious of not just yourself or spirituality, but like of being a human and being able to live in this human world. And as I realized, I'm like, okay, like, where is that money going? You know, and you start to realize all the money. I started to realize, maybe you will, or you are already. I started to realize, like, wow, like, so I'm spending all this money on these things that are like not really like, you know, sometimes we're like, oh, $2, $5, right? And you're just like, whatever, and you don't really think about it, instead of actually saving that money, putting it away. So that is a little story. I'm not gonna get too in depth with it, but it was something that it really helped me, and it really like boom. And to be honest, since that time, maybe not right in a second, but you know, it since that time it awakened something in me, right? And I started to actually become conscious when I was actually spending money, you know, like when I was like, when I buy something, okay, do I really need this right now? Like, really, like, do I really need to buy fruit from the streets for $5? I'm just kidding, that's just a joke. But you get the idea, right? And I'm like, okay, instead of doing that, let me put these $5 away, and I'm gonna forget about it, right? So then that a habit that I will never have, I never even thought of it before. So then the second time, I don't remember how many, like maybe like 2-3 weeks after, we actually got together again. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna give it a try. I don't think I have like this amount of money extra to put away and not touch on a savings account or whatever this is, but you know what? I trust you guys, right? And not just I trust you guys, but also I want to see if this works. I mean, I want to see if I can do it, right? That all goes together also to the ego and everything. And sometimes the ego is really good, because it can be really good because it helps you like stay connected to also like the world kind of things, and it's all about the balance, right? So I gave it a try. I actually, like, you know, I ended up getting a policy with them, and they can give you more information about that. And I started to save money, you know, just monthly, right? Money that just comes out of my account automatically. And what, maybe like the first month, I never had a problem without not having the money, because now I was conscious of what I was doing. I was conscious of the importance because they had explained it to me. I saw like the benefit. I saw the value, and that's another great thing about this. Is like seeing the value, the trust, and I'm up to this day, like, you know, my whole mentality about money has changed. That fear of like, I don't have money to save, it doesn't exist anymore. You know, it doesn't exist anymore. So that's just a little bit of the background of how these two women that are gonna come up very soon came together. Well, I first met them I first met one separate, how they both came together to give each other something, to share something. And not just in the financial aspect, but how they both learn, both of them, because one of them was all into, you know, the lifestyle coaching, right? Like more like fitness, like more, Andrea's a nutritionist, and all these different things, right? And very into the spiritual world. Then you have Claudia, that is very grounded into that, you know, earthy, how to make money, how to save money. She's been doing this for now like almost 3 years now. So you have these different two combinations, right? And it's like when you put two things into one, like beans and rice, it tastes really good than just rice alone or beans alone. So now you have these two combinations that they brought value, trust to each other. And now what's going to happen? I mean, two are better than one, right? Now you have a little bit of everything in here. And now they came and they shared with me. So I got the two aspects of them. So it was beautiful. So now I am here and I am very thankful. And that's why I decided to, choose them to be part of this series, of this new project of making live videos, sharing different people, different businesses, ideas, and etc. So with that said, I think I have said enough. We are going to bring them on so you can take a deep breath in. And here they are. Let's see. First, we're going to have Andrea here. Hello.
Hi.
How are you, soul sister?
I'm so good. Excited to talk about all of this with you. Yay.
You look good. And now we are going to bring Claudia.
Hello.
Hi. I love it. These two amazing Latina, strong, powerful, independent. Yes. Thank you for being here, girl. So I know that you guys were hearing everything that I was saying. So first, let's start by talking about you both relationships. So you guys were in high school together. And any one of you guys can start and expand. How about Claudia? You start. She looks like she's like, I want to
start. Oh no, that's just how I look all the time. But I will start. I actually reached out to Andrea. Well, we were in high school together. We probably I wouldn't say that we were like that close, but we definitely were friends and knew each other. I think we're a lot closer now. And I saw what she was doing on Facebook, and I felt like it aligned with a lot of my values. And so I reached out to her just to kind of learn more, very similar, Katy, to what you're doing. Like, it was more about, I wanted to learn more about her and see how we can add value to each other. And then it kind of just blossomed from there. And it was, I feel like her version of the story is way better, but that's how it started, and it was amazing.
We'll find out. And how long ago was that? How long ago was that, Andrea? Now you can answer me. See if you guys are in this. You guys both remember? How long ago was that she contacted you about what she just said?
That was actually about a year ago, and it was an interesting time for me because I am an entrepreneur to my blood and bones. Like most people that know me now, they know I'm an entrepreneur. Like, I can't go anywhere without thinking about some business thing or how to reinvent something. And I was actually in Spain, expanding my business in Spain, when Claudia reached out to me. And one of the things about Claudia, I mean, there's several, but one of the things is I always noticed, like, she never looked to impress people. She never looked to others to have to show her way through. Like, she was always doing her own thing. She was friends with everybody, and she would, and so she has her own take on that. But I always saw her as that person. She didn't need to, like, hang out with the cool kids, so I was under the cover, like, I always looked up to her because, like, I thought that was cool. Like, I thought she was really cool. So
you were not a cool kid?
I wasn't a cool kid.
It just wasn't necessary. Cool. It wasn't necessary. Like, it was, trying to fit into something. But when she reached out to me a year ago, like, I realized, like, we connected on so many things. So when I came back from Spain, we reconnected. We talked about everything from our family to, like, our personal stuff. And that's when I realized, like, but she'll tell you, like, I asked her one key question, like, I asked her, what is truly, like, your vision, and she told me, I want to be a millionaire by 30. And I was like, well, that's all my friends, so let's do this, like, let's keep being friends and expand on this. So it, like, to most people, it'll sound like a very materialistic thing, but to me, it's like, when you are goal oriented and you have that passion, which she does, when you have that heart, which she does, when you have the right tools in your hands to get things done, she's got it. She's got all of that. So when she told me that she wanted to be a millionaire by 30, I believed her. And that's what what you say is the trust, and what I genuinely like with Claudia, that's what we have. We trust each other. We continue to expand each other, which goes hand in hand with what you have to say. But also, it's we want to bring that authenticity that maybe our young faces will, make people think that we're naive. But no, we're women in business, all three of us, and we're all entrepreneurs, and that's what we want to bring forward, so people can see that, feel that, and know it.
Right. I love it. And yeah, go ahead.
One other thing that, like, what, and I love, Andrea, that was the one thing that you remember. I remember specifically you saying how with your lifestyle coach, how, like, just talking about how bringing people to their fullness, and bringing people to who they were and who they're supposed to be. And in my mind, it was like building leaders. And that's what connected me to her. That's really what, and I thank you so much, Andrea, for all the stuff that you said. But I remember when you said that, I was like, this girl, like, we're going to be right here, because she gets it. It's not just about being a millionaire or whatever. That's like a byproduct of being in touch with who you really are and who you're supposed to be and all that stuff. And I felt like Andrea really connected with that. And that's the reason why I was like, and now I feel like we're really close, and I absolutely adore her, as I do you, Kathy, but I absolutely adore her.
But I adore her even more. I love that. Thank you for sharing that. And I wanted to ask Andrea a question, because that's the whole perspective of why I'm doing this too, right? Connecting everything to kind of like spirituality and the world. And I love what you said, Andrea, because when you first talked about like money, right? Like you said, a millionaire, she wanted to be a millionaire, and you're like, that's my friend, right? And then you're like, I don't mean it to sound like materialistic, right? And I really want you to touch much based on that, because of I know what you do. And for those who don't know what she does a lot of things. Well, she's an entrepreneur. But what the way that we actually connected with Andrea too is that when I started to do my spiritual work, we both actually learned. We learned Reiki at the same time in the same room. So we practiced on each other. So we both grew. Andrea and me grew a lot close and a lot kind of in the same pace together into that spirituality kind of world, right? That it's just spirituality, right? Whatever that is for whoever is listening to this. But I want you to expand on how do you balance, because I think this is a great point. How do you balance when you are talking about money, right? And when you are talking about spirituality, because it's like a lot of times, like for me, growing up, we're all Latinas, right? So we grew up in that culture is completely different. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of Latino people that are born with a lot of money and they're chilling, but our culture comes from like, from la tierra, like it's tough for us, it's tough for maybe you guys were not born in another country. I saw it, I experienced it. But even though you didn't grow in another country or like that, but you still see it from your family, things like that, the way people think. So I want Andrea first, and then I would like to hear Claudia's experience too. How do you connect spirituality and money? And were you always understand that you always understood and took and appreciated the money has like, it's not just materialistic, but it's like something that I deserve? Or did that shifted how you started meeting Claudia and doing all this stuff? That was a long question.
Yeah, it's something that is actually really simple to understand, because when you think of energy, like the sun has energy, the moon has energy, people have energy. When someone walks into the room and they like feel upset, like you can see them, you can feel their energy, you get influenced by that person that's walking into the room, right? So like when someone's angry, no one wants to be around them. So it's all energy. And I've always tried to learn as much as possible. And I think that that's my strong suit, but it's also my weakest point, because it kind of makes me vulnerable, because I like whatever it is, I want to learn it. But what happened to me last year was I was around a lot of rich people, a lot of affluent people, and rich by monetary like ways, right? So then when when I saw this, but I realized like people were unhappy or they were sick, or, you know, it just reinforced what I was already doing. As a lifestyle coach, it's about looking at the style of life that you want to have and shape it from there. So for instance, Claudia is a go-getter. She is in the office or in the field meeting people. Like, she doesn't have the time to cook and to prepare all of these things, but she felt like she still needed to, you know. And that's the thing, when you get deep down inside and you realize, like, I don't need to do that. Like, it's not about being above other people, which I think that's what happens to a lot of people when they get money. They think that they're above other people. No, you're just getting an opportunity to deal with a different kind of energy. You're getting an opportunity to make use of that energy. And so what I put my mind to last year was to learn everything about money, because I worked so hard. And in our culture, it's like, you work hard, you earn more money. You work hard, you earn more money. Swear, I've been working since 2 years old. I should have been a millionaire at 20. But because the way that I was raised, like, we would spend it on trips, we would spend it on food, we would spend it on gifts. It wasn't, I would never say that I put that money to waste, but I definitely did not learn to invest that money and to compound my work. And that's the part that I really needed to learn last year, was that, you know, you can put your money into Bitcoin and hope that it does good. But I'm sorry, how many people lost a ton of money in Bitcoin last year? Some of them lost it because they lost their password, like something so simple, and they lost thousands of dollars. But that's when you come back and you see, like, what do I know? And how much do I know based on whether it's spirituality, experience, love, or your mentors? How much do I know? And when do I need to reach out to an expert? And that's what I realized, like, a lot of my clients need that expert advice. I'm not going to give my clients information that they can Google search, like Google search how to lose weight. And you can have 1,000 ways to. You do not have someone there holding you accountable and pushing you through those steps. That's what I do as a lifestyle coach. So when it came to money, it was so sad when I would hear people say, like, I want to be healthy, I want to be this, but I don't have the money, or I don't have the time. And it would make me so frustrated that I literally would want to, like, shake people. But I was like, wait, that's I can't do that. You know, I can't put my hands on people. But I was that frustrated.
I mean, you can, but
yeah, right.
Nice.
And like when
spiritual, Andrea.
Yeah, exactly. It was like so, like, opposite of me, but at the same time, this is the key thing. When you realize what your new passions are. You know, I realized that I was so passionate about what Claudia said earlier, building leaders, building independence. Like, we talk about independence and freedom, and it's all in our songs and the public stuff, but to really embody that, it's something else. And I think that that's when I really got out of, you know, exploring all the money and finances. Like, I met the richest people in Spain who have, like, the biggest yachts. And to me, it wasn't about the biggest yacht. It was about their mentality. What is it about their mentality that got them there? Because there are millionaires on their yachts right now. They're chilling while everyone else was panicking about COVID. Like, what's the difference? It's the mentality that they have. And that's what I got the clear vision last year, is that you got to shift your mentality. There were still some things, like you said, as a Latina, as a Hispanic, like, I feel like every money that I earn, I need to contribute it to my family. That is not normal. That is not normal. We should not have to give people money to show them our love. We should teach them to be leaders. We should teach them to know their own, and we should teach them to create what they envision. And that's really, like, when you see money, it is a spiritual thing, because you literally, like, I can go on my phone right now and Venmo you both $200. Like, that's pretty spiritual. Like, that's spiritual. That's like instant stuff. You know, like to me, that's
spiritual style.
Yeah. You know? And so, like, but if you can do that, trust, your intent is even more important. Like, your intention is more important. If it's that easy, your intention is more important. So, I mean, I'm sure Claudia will expand on this, but that's the basis of what drew me to working with Claudia, was that she has all these foundations of money, the mindset. You know, she's still going through her own stuff. Like, she's not over here flaunting perfection, but she is flaunting opportunity. That opportunity to make yourself independent, that opportunity to understand energy as a spiritual thing, you know, and at that base, that's when you feel fulfilled with whether you're making $5 an hour or $50 an hour. If you can understand that, then you feel fulfilled. And that's really what I was seeking for. Like, yes, the whole financial industry, like, I love it. I love money. I do. But it was at the basis of it was I was searching for my satisfaction.
I love how passionate you are about it, Andrea. And I think it's frozen, or is that just me that I see that?
You see that? She looks frozen on my end too. But I can hear her, but she's frozen.
You look really sexy. You're really cool. Okay, I think that means that are you complete with that question? That was really beautiful. I love how and this is another thing that I love about these two women. And maybe because they are a mirror to myself. It's because how passionate you guys are, not even just talking about what you guys do, but just like in life, you know, you guys truly are. Like, even when Andrea will be sad, she's just like, I am, and she's passionate about what the feeling that is feeling. So, you know what I mean? And that's something that, like, is really cool, because it's like, it actually takes a lot of vulnerability to be able to feel all these kind of feelings. But going back to that, I love, so that was your experience connecting that spirituality and changing your mentality. So we all know now with your answer that yes, you have it's not like you have always been who you are, Andrea, or think about, you know, richness and money in the way that you do now, right? But you have grown, you have expanded, you had to unlearn a lot of ways, all of us, right, of ideas, things that we were taught. So now, Claudia, give us your experience about, you know, about you guys meeting each other, and maybe not about the lifestyle, because now she just talked about that, but maybe your experience about you guys coming back together and how everything happened that you guys started working together. Okay. And then I would like you to also add about what is it that you guys do? What is financial coaching?
Right. So I think that, and I loved Andrea's answer so much, but one of the reasons, like I said before, one of the reasons that Andrea and I connected was I've actually, and I'm going to go into the fitness side of it just because that's how we connected. Yeah, I've struggled, and actually you can see there's like a recent post I just did about this, but I've struggled my whole life with just not being comfortable with who I am and like fitness and all that stuff. And I get overwhelmed thinking about it. And it's just a lot to think about. And one of the things that we talked about when we connected the first time, Andrea, she gets to the root of it. And I believe, I'm such a believer when we talk about spirituality. I'm a big believer in a lot of our like being everything is, there's always a root connected to it. So for example, even like being overweight or feeling fear about exercising, or everything is like deeply rooted into something different. And my biggest thing is it's like always either something comes from fear or something comes from love. And I know that for a lot of times. And one of the first things when I met with Andrea, we talked about, I told her, I was like, look, I'm done with doing fat diets. I'm done with this is my lifestyle. I want to be able to maintain a lifestyle. And she was just on board with that. So now tying it into what we do and talking about the mentality in that, that's what I fall in love in. And Kati, I know we talked about this last night, but you shared it so beautifully, the story that you went through in what we do. And that it really does go hand in hand, because just like fitness, I don't believe you can get fit for a second, but it's not going to be maintainable if you don't have the roots rooted in the right thing. You're not going to stay healthy. I mean, you could become obsessed with your body, but then upset, like, you know, like maybe get super fit. But if it's not rooted in the right thing, it's going to fall, right? It's like building your house on sand, right? Like it's going to fall. And same with finances. So for me, I remember, like, there's so many stories, and it's so crazy because the more I do it, the more I fall in love with it. And that's, I shared this with you last night, but I'm going to share it again. I loved her reaction when we came back, because she told us how aware she was and how like, wow, I didn't realize I was spending money on this. And that's the beauty in what we do. I feel like so many of us, there's so much more we can do financially, and we just don't, because we're unaware, and we also have either fear or whatever it is rooted in different things. So for example, like you said, you didn't think that you could save money. You were so focused on the day to day, and it's like I like to say like the fear of missing out, right? Like the like day to day of like, oh, I have to pay this bill, I have to pay this bill. You didn't pay yourself first.
That quote that I hear all the time, paycheck to paycheck. And I'm like, yeah, I am one of those. Oh my God.
Right. And it's funny because I'm a big believer now, and this is, now don't be wrong, I don't want to, this is, I'm going to say generic statement, but I don't mean it as a generic statement. I mean it in the sense most people that live paycheck to paycheck because they're just not aware. Now, I know that there's people out there struggling, but I'm a big believer. I'm a huge believer that if you make saving a priority, you can make it happen. Just in Think and Grow Rich, right? Whatever you put your mind to, you can make happen. And especially in this country, and like, I think to myself, I'm so blessed right now. Like, I have my own apartment, I live on my own, and I trust me, like, I love but I wanted to move last year, I think, to Calabasas, I think it was, and it was going to be double the rent, and I could afford it. And I was like, hey, but I didn't, because that's an extra $1,000 that I could save, rather than I could stay here and I could live beneath my means and then save more and build that wealth. And I feel like that mentality for me is what makes me so passionate, because I think that it's just something, and Kathy again explained it so beautifully, that we're just not aware of. And I think that when you write down your stuff and you make it, and you realize, okay, well, what do I want in life? Do I really want the DoorDash every single day? Do I really want to go to Target every single week? In the moment, it feels right. Same with dieting. Do I really want to have cheesecake every single night? Do I really want to do all that stuff? And then really asking ourselves the tough questions. A mentor of mine said that you are a product of the questions that you ask yourselves. And when you really get real with yourself and you start to say, hey, wait a second, what do I really want in life? It makes things so much better. I use this example every single time I sit down with a client, or I sit down with anybody that's writing for their goals. If all three of us were going to run a marathon, right? What would we do tomorrow? We'd start running, right? We'd start training. Doesn't matter if it's raining, doesn't matter if it's hot, doesn't matter what the circumstances is, because we have a common goal. Now, let's say we're not running a marathon and I call you tomorrow and it's raining. We're probably not going to, I'm like, hey guys, let's go running. You might be like, no, let's go tomorrow. Like, I don't really want to go. Like, it's not, it doesn't sound fun, right?
What are you talking about? It's raining.
Exactly, right? Because there's no purpose for that pain to go through, right? There's no purpose for that pain. Yeah. So what happens is when we set a goal on something, so now it's like, for example, if I said, like Andrea beautifully said, I want to be a millionaire by the time I'm 30, that changes everything. The way I think, the way I spend my money, the way I work, because I have a goal. And when people become aware of and bring consciousness to what they're capable of and just get those goals on paper, it just changes everything. So I hope that answers your questions when it comes to the spirituality and the mindset of it. But it's just about, like I said, just being able to see that you can accomplish all these things. So, and then your second question was, what do we do, right? Did I kind of answer that? Or should I get into that?
Yeah.
So,
no, yeah, but so now, thank you. I mean, you throw it out there, but because I understand what you're talking about, because I know what you do. But yeah, now can you please expand a little bit? What are we talking about? I mean, people are probably looking or into the video. It's like, what? So what do you do? What do you guys do? Because I know, before you continue, I know you, Claudia, you have been in this business for 3 years now. Wait, where's my finger here? That's 3 years.
Almost now. 4, yeah.
Automatically, 3 years now. Andrea has joined you and worked with you for 6 months, right? Correct? All right. So yeah, so I want to hear Andrea's perspective, and how she connected through her like entrepreneur kind of life. But first, I want you to tell me about the business. I want you to know, what is this? What?
Okay, so what we do is basically, and we kind of said a little bit about it, but basically, in a nutshell, if you were to ask me what my service is, Our service is to sit down with you, get your goals, and help you get a plan to get there. Now, because of our platform, we work with hundreds of insurance and investment companies. We can bring you products specifically to you so that we can help you get to your goals faster. But that comes second into really sitting together, figuring out a plan, figuring out how to break the cycle of living paycheck to paycheck, and putting money away to grow so that you can actually retire or become a millionaire by the time, whatever that is, we're going to tell you how to get there. Now, not everybody is ready to maybe be a millionaire by the time they're 30 or 40 or whatever. So, but we show you how you can do that. And then it's up to you to implement. Yes. So then we come back with, yep, exactly. So
people are gonna do it, but you can walk them through
how
whatever tool they want. Yeah,
exactly. And we work with over, like I said, hundreds of insurance and investment companies. So because we're non-captive, that means that I don't go in, like I didn't go in to sit down with Katy to sell her a specific product. Like I didn't go in saying I'm marketing this. I don't have like soaps or anything like that. What we do is basically, I ask Katy what she wants. I look at what she's doing. I see what she really is capable of doing. I tell her how to get there. And then I give her a product that'll help her reach her goals. And based on, I do the research. Andrea and I would go and do the research, and we look, okay, let's see what product is best for her, and we bring that to her.
That's why you come back later on. You don't make, because you actually have to go and do the research.
Do the research, right?
What's better for me? Because everybody's different, right?
Right. Exactly. Okay. So that's the logistics of it. But then now Andrea can go into how it ties.
I love it. Right. Thank you. Thank you very much. So Andrea.
Yeah. It's actually really beautiful because I do the same thing as a coach. It's very rarely that I'm going to sell to someone on the first time that I'm meeting them, or like I will meet people anywhere at the grocery store and people want me to work with them. But it's something about the human brain that once they get something that they actually need, it's kind of like this. It's like this invisible cloak comes over and they're like, oh my God, I don't deserve it. Like, I don't know, it was too good to be true. Or like, and it would happen to me a lot that people would I would have everything that they need to lose weight, but then it would come down to some kind of block. And I think that's the same thing that happens when it comes to money and finances. Like I've made a lot of money and I've burnt through it. I've also have made a lot of money and I've saved it. So I know what it is to be on both ends, but I also knew I had to make a decision. How do I want to live the rest of my life? And I think that once you sit down with Claudia and I, you realize like your goals aren't that far from you. It's just the things that you're doing right now aren't leading you towards that. And it's the same thing in health. Like people will chug apple cider vinegar, which tastes disgusting, which, it's disgusting and strong and all of this, but because they don't know what it does for them, they'll just take it once a week and then they're done with it, or like Claudia mentioned in the beginning, like fad diets, starting something and then just doing it for a little bit. And that's what I realized with finances. We do the same thing. We think that, oh, we're going to give a little bit of money into this, and swear how many of us have taken our money out of our savings account and put it into our checking account, like thousands of
every single time.
Right? Like Kevin Hart has that funny joke where he talks about how when he goes out with his basketball players, like, oh, I got to transfer my money from my savings to my checking, but there's a problem. Well, it's that habit that we have of kind of instant gratification, and that's what I realized working with Claudia. It's like she helped me like realize that the spa and the wellness center that I want is possible. Like, swear with everything that I was going through, I was starting to put that goal and that dream of mine in a little box tucked away in the corner. And that was happening without me even doing it on purpose. Like, you guys both know how driven I am, but it was just because I wasn't doing the day-to-day practices of my finances and making that plan that I didn't see it possible. And that's the sad truth that I've cried many times with Claudia already. She's seen me cry more times, like, because I'm so honest about it too, though, because I don't want people to think that everyone doesn't go through it. Actually, most of us do go through it. And that's what we want to share with people when we meet with people. It's like, we're not doing it because you're doing something wrong. It's because we want to teach you what you should have been taught. And I think that's where my passion really comes from, is because I was the person who sat in class and tried to pay attention. But then once I got to high school, I was like, forget it. We're not learning anything useful, you know? And the sad truth was that we weren't learning these type of things in school that would have made us possible to thrive and reach all our goals and dreams. If we would have gotten the right teachings, we would have gotten the right lessons. I think that answers your question.
and I think it's so beautiful too, like, you know, bringing that, you know, your experience with all of this. And I think it goes together with like anything in life. I mean, like a teacher. What is a teacher, right? The teacher, before becoming a teacher, she or he had to become they were a student, right? How did they learn how to be a teacher, right? So, and you know, for people that know, I have written a book. I mean, my whole book story is about how all these crazy things happen. Oh, I learned all these amazing things out of all the darkness, right? Like transforming that darkness into light. You know what I mean? So it's like we have to go through all these different things in life. Sometimes you have to become a stripper. Sometimes you have to do different all this kind of stuff. And I'm just being dramatic just to really like just show, you know, the connection of just like sometimes you have to go through that, but sometimes you don't have to stay there. So what Andrea was saying, all these things, yes, we are Latinas. Yes, we don't come from a huge family that's rich. Yes, nobody thought of all these things. Does that mean that I'm going to stay there and just repeat the same cycle? Oh, wait a second. I just met an amazing person that is giving me all this information, right? That she's been there and she transformed that into it. Let me learn from her. So that goes together into like being open-minded. So thank you, Andrea, for sharing that. I love it. So now, now you guys explain a little bit of what you guys do when you guys come and see, you know, people, right? So now we're almost gonna be ready to like close things out little by little. But I would like for you guys to really share with us to what is it like? Like, for example, what is it like when you guys go, when, let's say me, I express a little of my experience, but I would like you guys to really express it in detail to somebody that will maybe be interested or have like questions about this. Let's say you have a person, and you have Kathy, right? You're gonna go see. How does that work? Like you don't know this person is new or whatever. How can you guide them through what you guys actually do, and how can you guys help them?
Do you want me to go?
Yeah, you can start.
Okay. Well, first of all, one of the things that I want to mention and make a point is, just like we sat down with Katty, we don't do anything such as cold call. All of our clients are met through referrals and trust, which is, I think, super important to say, because we're not going to go knocking on our door. And think about it. There's people, and Katty did give us a bunch of referrals. There's so many people in all of our lives that need what we do that would not take that cold call, right? That would like hang up. You say, hey, free financial help. Yeah, they're going to hang up on you, right? So it's very important, especially if you're watching this and you're curious, and maybe it's not you that needs the help, but you know somebody. We're not going to go cold call them. So it's all built through referrals. It's all built through trust. It's all built through that. So what we would do is we would come to that person's house ideally with the person who referred us, or, through that person that referred us, making sure that it's comfortable. And our first objective is to really share what we do in details, which, I mean, I know we did a little bit here, but just that's our number one thing, because I always believe in being a resource for people. Because even if I do help you,
you personalize it for a specific people. Everybody's different.
Right. So it might be different. So for example, with Katty, right? For example,
I'm an open book. You can share anything about you know, about
I
the
won't
money.
share that much just because I would never, but I would say,
Oh, you can.
well, my point is we helped her save money. But like, for example, if she wanted to help with getting out of debt, or if she wanted help with something specific, I want to make sure she understands, not just because of her needs, but like if she knows people that need us, I don't want her to think that we're just one thing. I want to make sure that she's aware so that she can be that resources for her family and friends. So that if she is somebody that comes to her and say, hey, I'm in a lot of debt, and then, you know, hey, I know that she just doesn't help saving money. She can help doing this. So, well, hey, I need to get long-term care. Oh, I know that she does that. Hey, I need to get a will and trust. Oh, she does that too. So we want to make sure that we can be that resource, and that they can go. And then after that, we go through and we figure out what your goals are. Then we personalize it to you. So I say, what is important to you? Now you know all the stuff that we do. What's important to you? And she'll say, I want to save money, or I want to, you know, budget. I want to do all that stuff. I'm like, okay, perfect. We'll go through that. We'll, you know, come up with a plan like we did, and we'll bring it back. And it's all about building that relationship, because when I walk into a room with somebody, I think in my mind, I make up my mind that I'm going to be in this person's life for the rest of their life. Like I decide that walking into the room. So when I meet Kathy, when I meet anybody, I'm like, look, we're in this together till one of us dies. Like that's it. We're in this together.
That's cool.
Right. So I think of, and so what my intention is, I want to make sure that you know that like you're not in this alone. Whether it's me, whether it's Andrea, whether it's another one of our agents that go in with you, you're not in this alone. You have support. You have a question. We were just talking last night, and Kathy had a question, and Andrea and I both said, you want to text us? You text us. Say, hey, I have a question about this. How does this work? We'll respond. We want to be that like support sister or support guidance for you, and that's really the intention of the entire meeting. And so I want to know, I want to get deep with you. I want to know, hey, what do you want to do? Like, don't just tell me like the fluff stuff, like, oh, I want to retire but I'm 65. Why do you want to retire at 65? Why not 60? What else do you want to accomplish? When do you want to get your first house? When do you want to start a family? When do you want to do all that stuff, so that I can be there? Whether even if you can't accomplish all of those goals now, I'm in your life for life. So I know when things change, and we do our annual review, and I'm like, hey, Kati, remember you said you wanted to buy a house in 10 years? Well, now let's put more money away. Hey, Kat, like I can connect with you, and we could go together and do life together, you know. And that's really, I feel like, I don't know, and Andrea can add more, but I feel like that's the description of what we do.
I love it. And I really do. I will never forget how, you know, and it's so cool when, like, you know, you just asking, for example, my experience, when you guys started to ask me all these questions, right? Like, okay, you want to save money? I'm like, yeah, why? Damn, yeah, why do I want money? Damn, I don't even know, right? So it's like you really, that's like bringing that consciousness, like, why do you want things that you want, or what do you want? And sometimes a lot of us don't really know what we want because we never take the time to really ask for it, right? So I think that's beautiful what you said, and I love it. And I really would like for you to also expand on, because I know you mentioned life insurance. And when you guys first told me about that, right, and what I have heard from a lot of people, and it's very interesting, right? It's like, I never thought, I'm 25 years old. Why do I need insurance? And I'm sure there's 40 years old people that still don't think they need insurance because they're single, they don't have any family. Why do I need insurance? I'm on my own. What do you mean? So if you guys can just touch a little bit on, like, what is life insurance, and what is the benefit of having life insurance at 25 years old, at 20, you know, like, why?
Yeah, and we're both to say, Claudia and I, we're a rare breed that actually had life insurance in their 20s. Most people will not have life insurance or any type of retirement account. Oh, everyone knows what a 401k is or what it can do, but no one really knows.
401k, that's a great topic. I love it.
Right? Like no one knows how it works. And the thing is, we're quick to sign away when we're being hired or something and say, okay, my money is going there. And every paycheck that you're getting, your money is getting put somewhere, and it's kind of like walking blind. And I mean, that's in it on the investment side. But for me, it was made clear, like some of you may know and some of you don't know, but my mom passed away at 19. And the sad truth was that few months before my mom passed away, she had breast cancer. I had this conversation with my dad, difficult conversation, to say, hey, Dad, like, we need some type of insurance. Make sure all of the stuff for mom is right. Like, it was the hardest thing as a daughter to have that conversation with your parent. Like, it was like, and my dad's response was like, are you giving up on your mom? Like, you think she's going to die? And it was the worst response I could have ever gotten. But guess what? Like, when my mom passed, our house was in the court and at the bank for years. And I don't share that with people because it genuinely hurt my heart, you know, and like, every time that Claudia and I sit down with someone, like, I think about if Claudia would have told me, you know, something sooner, or someone would have come to me sooner and gotten those things straight with my mom, I wouldn't have gone through all that pain afterwards. You know, like, still to this day, I'm begging my dad to make a will and a trust. And it's not fair to me because when he passes, who's going to be dealing with all of this stuff? You know, and that's what we don't pay attention to when we're living and doing all of these things, is who's going to take care of the things that we need to be taken care of when we pass. And on another note, like, I realized I was building up my business and building all of this stuff, and I've had, unfortunately, people that try to come after me and that try to either go from a reimbursement to trying to make my life a living hell. Like, it unfortunately has happened. So I realized, like, I needed to protect myself. And after 3 different insurance agents and financial advisors, Claudia is my number one. She is an expert. She took the time to look at my 2 previous policies and told me, like, she remembers that day. Like, I was livid. I was so upset that I did not understand what I was putting my money into. And it did not discredit the people that gave it to me, but it was not what I needed. I needed something different. I'm a go-getter. I'm going to be compounding my money every year. Like, without a doubt, I'm going to be making more money. Like, and to not have that protected. And this is the takeaway that I feel like I bring into any meeting or a room, is that all of us want security. All of us want comfort. All of us want to have that, the retirement. You know, all of us want to have that retirement. We all want to have that freedom, but we're taught that we have to keep working super hard, or we're taught that we have to do it this certain way, or for women, we have to get married into a rich family. Like, no, like,
that's a good idea.
You're the rich one.
Exactly. And having that stability is something that, like, since I've been working with Claudia, and working as in she's helping me manage my money, okay, like, that tells you how much I trust her already. But beyond that, the mentality and the environment that we have, like, without a doubt, WFG is my favorite company in the world, because I get chills, because they are family. They are literally family. Like, they were checking on me when all of this happened. Well, how's your business going? What's going on? You know, like, that to me is something that people that genuinely care about your safety and your stability, and
the community, family,
feel that. Yeah, everyone should feel that with their money. If you work hard for it, why don't you feel safe? And that's what a lot of people go out, and this is what I would see with a lot of people in as a nutritionist. Like, people would go out to buy ice cream as a comfort, but I'm like, oh my goodness, like, instead of spending that $6-7, or nowadays ice creams is like $10 freaking dollars, like $10,
or Johnny's ice cream is 100,
crazy,
15
right?
or 20 with DoorDash.
Seriously, right? See, like, why not put that money into something that you know is
because I want ice cream, Andrea. I want ice cream.
Sorry. Okay, when I come back in July,
I want a guy to drop it over my door.
We'll make homemade ice cream together.
Right. No, I mean, you know, I mean, I'm gonna say, and I'm sure that you guys also feel it. Thank you, Andrea. I mean, I love how you were, you know, I love the energy of, like, passionate, emotional, real life, and then, like, we just connected into, like, laughing and funny, because I mean that's what life is. You know, you're crying, you're depressed, you're happy, you're excited, you're in love, you're like fall out of love. You have, you know, like life is just like right. So it's about how to create that community. That was cool, right? How to create that community, that support to have more of what you actually enjoy the most. Not what's good and bad. Let's leave that out of the way. But what makes you feel better?
Right.
Saving, you know, being more secure, knowing where your money is, you know, having more extra money, or all these things, right? Whatever it works for you. I mean, we're not saying, well, in my experience, you know, for me, what you guys did, I like it. Work is working. Like, I'm cool with it. It may not be for everybody, and that's fine. Maybe one day, like what you said, you know, something's gonna happen, and you know, everybody's different. Everybody has completely different stories in life. Right? But your story, just the way that you say your story right now, and I think it's something beautiful to share. Like, you know, how many other girls you think are going through that, or went through that, or woman, or you know, father like your dad, or whoever it is, right? And for what you were mentioning, it's not like because you didn't want to. We don't know. How do I know that the sky is blue? I mean, because I see it, you know. I mean, no one really told me that the sky was blue. Maybe my teacher in whatever painted blue, but I saw it. I knew it was blue, right? But what if I'm like a baby and I never got out of the house, and I'm like 10 years old, I never got out of the house, I never seen the sky. Doesn't mean that the sky doesn't exist, or the sky is beautiful and it could give me a great experience, but I never been outside. No one told me that the sky existed, right? So it's kind of in like everything in life, and that's the beauty of all of this and the connection of it. And one more question that I really want to ask you, Andrea, because you did mention like that you were with other different companies in this finance, like you had all different policies, and it's funny because I did too. I was with Primerica before. And I never really learned too much about it. Nothing against it. Nothing, But what it does changes is the community and the support. I still at this moment, who the fuck knows where that kind of money? I did put some money. Believe me, I don't know. I don't know where it is, right? Because nobody really they just wanted to pull. Yeah, come join. Yeah, right? Which is cool. Like, right, whatever company it is, I sell health products. Of course, I want to benefit, and I am going to benefit, but I believe in the product. I know the product is going to work for you, and I'm going to find the right shampoo for your type of hair. I'm not going to just give you, here, take this one. I'm going to sit with you. What kind of hair do you have? Have you dyed your hair before? How is your, how do you want your hair to look? Do you like curly? Do you want it to be more thin? You want it to be more, so everything goes inside, right? So what the difference that you guys had in this, for me to actually get another policy is that trust, that connection, that friendship, that community that you guys give. And I think that is so important. So if you, Andrea, can expand on your experience with having different policies, and again, like I just expressed, mine would be, because you guys actually explained, sat down, took a lot of your time without charging to express, to show me, to really find what will be best for me at this moment. Like you said, things change, then you're still here forever in my life. You will let me know life changes, here you go, right? So Andrea, in your experience, maybe you don't want, if you don't want to go into detail about your past experiences with other companies, but why is this the one?
And it's funny that you say the one, because it genuinely, as an entrepreneur, I've seen many business models that most people don't know, but I actually have 5 businesses. And with running 5 businesses, yeah, right? Like
I'm like, damn, girl.
It's intense, but I have that passion, and I also have the energy to do so. So I think that once you realize that you have the energy or you have the money, most people go into one or the other. They go into extreme excitement or extreme fear. Like, which one are you going to choose today is pretty much what happens to us as humans. So most of us act on fear. So people, if it's a sales tactic. I've studied it, marketing. Put a sales sign in front of your store and people will come through. Why? Because it makes it seem like it's not going to be there longer. So people actually are acting out of fear to buy this thing that is going to be gone. But little do you know, no offense to China, but there's 20,000 more in China being made right now. But that's not what you see when you're being sold it, right? So for me, when the first two policies that I got, it wasn't shaped to my future. It was shaped to my now. And that was the thing that now as a coach and as encompassing the financial industry is amazing. The financial industry is, I'm going to say, is literally the backbone of this country. And you can correct me on this, but I think it is the backbone of the entire world. When you get into the financial industry and you really understand it, which I'm obsessed, like some of it goes over my head, but it doesn't matter if I can, I'm always on a call learning as much as possible, because when you understand where people are coming from, and when you understand that this is like, all the people that train us, they have these products. All the people that train us, they have these services. They're living by it, and it's not to discredit the two other policies, because you guys will know Northwestern and New York Life. They're great companies, but they were not offering me what I needed. And that was the gap. And just like the gap of when people have a dream and they have a goal, like sometimes I don't want to say a dream or a goal, because then people see it so far away that it's not possible to them. And that's the thing, like most of the financial industry, like big hunky or like companies that people know of, they're not going to call you and be like, oh, Gathy, you've been making this amount of money. Like, let me see where you're going to put that. No, they wait until you're making like 7 figures and then they'll call you. And that's the difference between this company. It doesn't matter. We want to bring families.
Not even making, saving.
Yeah.
Right? Until you have 7 figures.
Exactly. And to guide people there. And even one of my amazing mentors I was on the phone with a little bit ago, she was telling me, like, you're a guide. You're constantly guiding people. So I don't need to be the expert in this industry. Claudia is. And Claudia has proven that to me, not because I needed her to prove herself to me, but because day to day, I see her work ethic. I see her, like, she tells me straight up when she's like, wait, hold on, maybe I find something better for you. Like, she straight up says that, and I will give her that time, but other people are quick to make a sale, which is, I don't go bad by that, because I'm an entrepreneur. I know that. But when you can genuinely connect to someone and then help them realize, hey, if you want to support your aging parents in 5 years, you got to get your stuff together now. Like, you got to get your stuff together yesterday, because we think that our parents are going to live to 80 something, but we don't know that. So why wait until 80 something to support them? Like, that shouldn't, when we realize where it is. And I know that, Kathy, you had said this before, and along the time that we've been working for you, you said scared a lot. You would mention the word scared, and to me, it makes me kind of cringe.
I don't know the meaning of that anymore, Andrea. I'm not the same Kathy.
Yay!
But this is a story. So continue.
Yeah, exactly. Because you don't want to be acting out of fear, but at the same time, Claudia and I are going to hold you in that space. If fear is coming up, we're going to hold you in that space and show you that we've been there too. Like, trust, I was terrified when my mom passed. And when I realized, like, my 2 brothers, they got their own stuff going on. Who's going to be the one responsible? Like, I saw that, right? And it freaked me out. But instead of going into freak out and shutdown mode, which was depression, like, I didn't show that to anybody. I did go through depression, but I didn't show that to anybody. I just kept doing what I needed to do. But bringing Claudia into my life now, it's like the right time and we want to do this big. We want to continue showing people and training people, but also because my brother's a Marine, like, they don't get trained. They get paid good money. They give their life for this country. And my brother's 401k account has been locked for 2 weeks. why should his money be locked up? It's his money. But because it was never set up right, but because it wasn't established right, because he wasn't guided. Again, it's that guide. He wasn't guided right. Here's this Marine veteran who gave his life and his body, his knees hurt, his back hurt for this country, but yet no one sat down with him and explained to him. Like that's where my passion comes from. This, like giving that time to people.
Like for example, in the idea of your brother, like there's nothing to be able to be done for at this moment to change that. Like it's just like he made a decision back then because he didn't know, and now he's just stuck. Like that. That's it. He just
Well, it's gonna be resolved. It just because the VA doesn't have that humanistic relationship. Anyone who's been in the military can testify to that. You can go to any military person and they will tell you the veterans office that are supposed to help them, they are cold, they are ugly, they are underserved, they are low quality. And I'm sorry, that is genuinely because I get frustrated that my brother, like, how many times I tried to call my brother while he was in Iraq and in Afghanistan, and I could not get to him. Do you not think like he deserves the best quality service? But our VA doesn't offer that. But am I gonna bash on the VA because they are doing what they can do? No, but I want to get Claudia and myself in front of all of these veterans to give them that, to fill that gap. And that's the thing. We're filling that gap of what people didn't get in high school. We're filling that gap of what people didn't get in the Marines. We're filling that gap that people didn't get from their parents. We're filling that gap that people can't Google search. You can't Google search this kind of material. You can't, because we are the living, breathing examples of it.
They won't put it online.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that's at the base of this, because we want everyone to know, like, especially with this pandemic, like a lot of people, the sad truth is, lost a lot of money and a lot of people lost family. It's the sad truth. We all know someone who was affected by this. We all know someone. And the sad truth is that, guess what? Everyone could have been prepared. But most Americans don't even have 3 months worth of savings. Before all of this happened, we ran the numbers and most Americans had $400 in their savings. I'm sorry, in California, it doesn't even pay for your food.
Yep.
Hey, the president gave us like what, $1,600 one time?
That's and right. Guess what? Probably everyone's already spent it instead of investing in their future. But or they were back on their bills because people didn't plan for it.
Yeah, and that's the whole connection of like just consciousness, right? Like
right.
Just so that's what you guys bring. You guys bring that, and you actually side with one-on-one people because it's personalized, like a personal trainer will do, like a nutritioner will do. So you actually personalize this for a person.
And the beautiful thing is that there is no charge for sitting down with you and helping you figure this out. Like, as my own business, like, to me, I was like, why do you guys do that? This does not sound productive, right? Like, that does not sound productive. But at the same time, like, I do that too. At least 5 minutes of having a session with someone allows them, again, to build that trust. And that is a key thing, and also aligns with our honor code, which I think everyone nowadays needs something like that, because once you realize like what you truly want in your life, like whether it's a family, whether it's a house, whether it is to be an influencer, whatever it may be, you're gonna need money to get there, regardless of what it is. Regardless of what it is, you're gonna need money to get there. So let's learn how to manage that energy.
And how to make more, and how to feel worthy and connected to, just like day-to-day life.
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Okay, so we have been here for an hour now. I really do appreciate everything that you guys have answered and shared, and I love the passion. I really, really love that. And now the last thing that I'm gonna leave for you guys, is there anything else that you guys want to share, express, comment? Here's your spot.
Yeah, I'd love to add that, someone commented about retirement, and I think it's something very important to look at, because at the base of it, our company's goal is to teach everyone to financial freedom. And I think that it really is about finding out how much you need to get there, right? Like when you realize that the lifestyle that you're living right now is not leading you to that, that's where you kind of get that clear, like, oh, these are my action steps. And to retire, let's say in 5 years, it's possible, but you also want to know that it may take you working 16 hours a day, but
You have to do the work, yeah.
if like this is where I always challenge people, like if you knew you could retire in 5 years working 16 hours a day, would you do it?
Wait, 16 hours? Damn.
In 5 years, you could retire. I think that, yeah. I think I would.
I think I have worked more than 6. But I don't know where that money went because I didn't know where to save it. But I've worked more than 16 hours a day, 5 years. Let me tell you that one. My back hurt.
I love, and that's kind of the point I would bring up too. It's like one of the main things with sitting down with us, and you kind of talked about it too, Katia. It's like, maybe it isn't. Maybe you're going to see it and be like, okay, cool. But now you know. Like we show people their financial independence number. We show them exactly what they need to do. But now you know. And knowledge is more power. I always tell people, if I showed you the... Yeah. Like, oh, sorry.
No,
if I showed you exactly how much money you needed to have at retirement and you put it under a mattress, we added value. You know what I mean? Now, don't be wrong. Don't put it under a mattress. There's way better ways to grow your money. But that's the whole point. And it's like the value, I think, that comes with the no charge of sitting down with us and building that relationship. And then, of course, we have a whole platform of products that can help you get there. And I think that the more and more I think about my story, I think about my parents, I think about my mom who...
I want to hear your story. I want to hear how... I was thinking about that. Tell us, all of it. I think it will be great to close it out. I mean that's what you're doing and going. I'm sorry, but just to throw it out there. Yeah, tell us your story. How you ended up doing what you do.
Sure. So I got started in this company. It's going to be 4 years this year, but 3 years total that I've been here. And when I first got started, it was just to make money. I saw an opportunity. I saw like, oh, wow, I could figure that out. I was in sales before. I was like, I can close people and save money. This will be easy. But I started to really fall in love with it through experience. And basically, the first thing that happened was my mom. I lived in the same house. I live on my own now, but I lived in the same house probably my whole life. And I was 25 when I got started. And my mom told me that she was going to lose her home. And I remember thinking, like, how could you lose your home? You're 25 years. It should be a 30-year mortgage. I don't know anything about mortgages. And mind you, I'd already started in this company. And I started thinking, and that's what we talked about, education, bringing awareness, all this stuff. And I'm like, wow, no one ever sat down with me and talked to me about mortgages. No one ever sat down to me and talked to me about refinancing. So
I want to hear about mortgages. What the fuck is that?
My mom's financial advisor was a person in mortgages that did refinancing. So every time she needed money, she would go refinance. And I remember thinking, there's an example of somebody that didn't have anybody. And my mom made 6 figures, but she was a foster mom. So she didn't make no one called her, no one knocked her door. She didn't even have a 401k. She didn't even have like benefits from her job because she made it through foster care. My dad, on the other hand, had a great job with great benefits, but was laid off in 2009. Now, to be honest, I didn't talk to my dad about what we did for a whole year because my dad was the one that always saved money. I was very afraid that if I was going to share this with him, he was going to think it was dumb to be real. And I thought, oh, what if he's going to rain on my parade? And it was really pride that kept me from getting in front of him. But finally, I kept seeing us help this family, I help this family, I help this family. And I thought, what if my dad knows somebody that needs what we do? And because I didn't sit down with him, we never get to that person. So I put my pride aside. I sat down with him in like June or July of 2016. And I sat down with my dad, and my dad actually was very interested and wanted to put a plan in place. And the plan that we came up with, my mentor at the time, Caitlin, we came up with and we put together was going to include long-term care, was going to include retirement, putting stuff away, was going to include all of the stuff that he needed and didn't have. And he liked it, but he said, let's not start this till next month. And I think that those are like the worst, like now looking back, I don't believe in being a pushy salesperson at all. But I will tell you, here's the thing, go do it with somebody else, but I'm not going to leave the table and tell you, let's wait till next month, because that next month my dad had a stroke and now he doesn't qualify for anything. He can't even have a certain amount of money saved, because if he has too much money saved, Social Security disability will stop coming in. He literally has I am his retirement plan. I am the person that's going to be taking care of him. And if I would have and I want to plug in for people that have parents. If your parents don't have long-term care, you need to get it for them. You don't have to call me, you can call someone else, but you need to get it for them, because if I would have it would have been maybe $200 a month. I would have paid that first month and my dad would have care for the rest of his life. If I would have put something down, I would have put something, my dad would have care that next month.
So that hurts. That
definitely hurts. But let me tell you, it changed my business for the rest of my life, because now it is so much more about when I sit in front of somebody, it is 100% about sharing what we do. And I always tell when I train my new agents, or if when we're building an agency and we're constantly, like training new agents all the time. And when I talk to them and I say, look, we want everybody, don't put anybody on a list, give them the opportunity to say no. Give them an opportunity to say no. Because if I would have told my dad when I first started, he probably would have something set up. He would have had a whole year to get something in place. I'm not saying that I would wait anymore either, but like I was the one that said, oh, he doesn't need this. He's okay. He's fine. He's all set. But no.
Fear and George,
100%.
Idea.
So that shifted. And then the last part of my story that I didn't really share last time, but you asked, I want to bring it up because you said, why am I young and I don't need life insurance? One thing my mom did when we were really young is a life insurance salesperson with a specific company came to her house and sold her life insurance on her kids. Now, I see the policies. I've actually replaced a lot of them. They weren't the best, but they were something. Before I was able to replace any of them, my sister, a lot of people that know me know this, she passed away at 24 years old. And it was actually gang violence. It was something completely no one expected. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, when my mom got that policy at 2 years old on her, she didn't think it was going to ever pay out. She didn't think it was going to ever need. The reason she got it, the reason the guy sold it to her, and this is one of the benefits, but there's way more, but was to ensure her insurability. So that if something ever happened and she couldn't get insurance, she always had coverage. And my mom made that decision. And I was so grateful that my mom did. Because when my sister passed away, we were able to, and Andrea's story breaks my heart, because I know what it's like to lose someone close to you, family. I know what that's like. And to be able to have time off work, to be able to not have to worry about anything, to be able to put there's no pain greater than losing a child. I can't imagine my mom with the pain that she went through. And she was able to spend that time with my sister and take the time off and be there for her because she had a policy. And I think to myself all the time, like, I remember before that happened, I have to be honest with you, I've been in this business for a long time. Now, there's a lot of benefits to insurance, getting insurance on kids, including money savings. But when people would tell me and they were young and they didn't have kids or they were not married and they say, oh, I don't need insurance. One of the things I always say, if there's somebody in your life that loves you, if there's somebody in your life that cares about you, then you need to be covered. Because if something happens to you, they're the ones that's left with that. So nonetheless, I mean, I believe God used those events to make me the person I am today. And at the same time, as tragic as they were, I'm very grateful for both of those things that happened, because I am very passionate. That's why I'm able to, and I appreciate you, Andrea, so much for saying that, but it is about, for me, what's best for you. It is about, for me, being that gateway to the industry, because no one was there for my family. No one did it for my family. So when you sit down with us, we're going to cover all of that. We're going to go through what can we do to help you specifically to make sure that you're not only set now, but can get to your goals and dreams. And and like I said, so that's really what happened. And so now after that happened, I have to say too, my business exploded after those things. And not to say that I used my story, but it really was. I remember I called everybody I knew and I said, hey, look, you knew my family, you knew who they were, and you never referred them to this company. I think it was either because A, you didn't know it existed, or B, you didn't understand it. So I want to make sure I get in front of you. And sure enough, we built an entire business. It's like, and that's really why, like, I'm very fearless. Like, especially if you're watching this and you're on my Facebook feed, you know, I've reached out to you. I don't care. I'll do it again. I don't care. I'm very passionate about what I do. And I'm going to continue to reach out to people because I know that there's people that are like my family that didn't get help, that don't have help, and they're just, for whatever reason, skeptical. They don't understand what this is. They have no idea. And I want to share my story with you. And if it doesn't move you, awesome. If you think you're set, awesome. But now you know that there's a resource. Now you know when I come into your if I sit down with you and we don't do any business, 10 years from now, you're going to remember me. You're going to remember, hey, remember when Claudia came in and we talked about this stuff? Yeah, you'll remember. And that's fine. And I'm okay with that. I'm not trying to make money off of you. I'm trying to share with you what my family didn't have. So anyways, I could go on forever, but that's my story. And that's why I'm here. And that's why I'm very passionate about what we do. So
I think it's very, yeah, you both are very, very passionate. I appreciate that. Like, it's actually, I didn't know all the details about your story. I knew Andrea's and I knew a little bit about you, but no detail has you shared. So that's like, it's beautiful. And yeah, I mean, that's what we go through, the mistakes, the things that we have been through, because, now we have the wisdom, right? Now we can share it because we have not been, we are not, and we will not be the only people going through similar things, like losing a parent, death, like mistakes, losing money, making the wrong choices. But you are here now, you took all of that into what you guys are now, and now you guys are here to share that with people, and that's why we're here. That's why we're making also this video, to share, again, just to throw it out there, right? To just share, like, hey, like, this is something here. You don't want it? Fine. Like, there's, exactly. And I love what you said. Like, it's like, stop caring about what people are going to think. Because everybody thinks whatever they think, right? But it's like, you have experienced it. Like, you know it. And out of 100, maybe out of 100, one really needed that. And, I'm sure you have experienced that. And that's why you've been doing this for almost 4 years now. Why? Because you have find people that tell you, like, thank you for like reaching out,
Andrea, everybody, we're all here because of that, right? Because we all didn't give up,
And I think that is completely beautiful. And I think I'm gonna end this with, like, whoever is watching, whoever will watch, I'm gonna upload this video on my YouTube channel, and you guys can do whatever you guys want with it too. I'm very, very pleased with everything. I think you guys are amazing. I still have a lot to learn through, all, like, and that's another thing. Like, I, like, everybody has their thing, right? Everybody has their niche, and that's why it's beautiful to have different kind of friends, right? Because everybody can give something, right? And you guys are that niche of that knowledge, of that wisdom, and you guys keep learning. And it's like, I'm so lucky to have people like you that I can relate and I can, like, learn from. So thank you for that. And everybody that's watching right now, if you guys have any questions, if you guys are still like, what are you guys talking about? What is this? If nothing was really clear, if you guys would like to, like, contact any of these ladies, they're both single, right? Okay, you guys are, right?
No ring, no.
Successful.
Well, if you guys would like
our own rings.
No, right? Single and powerful though, so just watch out. So
if you guys would like to contact these ladies, either way, for business, for questions, because you think they're good looking, whatever it is, just friends, just ask questions. Again, like, they can come over, taking out of being funny. I can't help it, I apologize, but it's funny. It's funny. They, again, you don't have to make any choice. You don't have to, like, say yes. You don't have to sign up for anything. They will literally take just an hour of the time or more, whatever. If they like you more, they'll say more and drink tea with you.
That's true. If we don't, we'll stay less.
And just, like, just share with you, answer questions, just literally just show you what's happening with your finances, and then you choose to either say that is bullshit, that doesn't work, whatever, in, like, or you can just say, I want to learn more. What do I do? What do we do next? So whoever you are, whatever your thought of this is, you are welcome to feel, to think, to do whatever you want in your life. And thank you so much for watching. I'm going to leave their information down below. I mean, they're going to be tagged on this video and everything. You can find them on Facebook, Instagram. What is the best thing for you guys, for people to like contact you guys?
I prefer Instagram. And I know you're probably tagging it, but Claudia Nadine CEO. And I definitely, I use a lot of personal stuff, but I also have ways you can text me there. Also, I think you can email me. And it's just a way to contact and connect with people. Yeah. And you also get to see who I am.
Yeah, I love it. How about you, Andrea? What do you prefer most if anybody wants to? And all of these people want to like contact you guys free of charge. Just like, hey, can you just come over?
Or we can do via Zoom too. It doesn't have to be come over.
I love that. We can do it online.
We can do everything Zoom. We can meet online. It doesn't matter if you're in South Carolina or California, wherever we are, we can connect with you.
I love it. Okay, so now we know that. How about you, Andrea? What is one of the main social media things that you prefer to be contacted on?
Facebook is best because then it's where I can actually have a conversation with you and carry more. Instagram, I do check, but not as often. But Facebook also, I haven't shared as much of everything that I've learned on here, but I do tend to share more of what my personal things are too. So anything that relates, whether it's accomplishing the goals or, you know, a lot of people are like, oh, how do you travel and all this stuff? It's planned. Like I plan, I separate money. It's all designated. So if it's where people see the experiences and all the things, that on Facebook is the best way to reach me, because I mean it's meant to inspire people, but also like
sharing your life.
Yeah, to start that conversation. It doesn't have to be like show me everything that you have. It's just like start the conversation of awareness. That's what we want to do. We want to start the conversation. So I'm on Instagram too. Energize with Andrea. You'll find me. You can Google it.
Doesn't answer you in the next 2 seconds. She will answer you, you know, in an hour or so, but she will answer you. It takes a while to answer me. So she just has not seen it, but just go on Facebook and she will answer that one. She's a Facebook. I'm an Instagram person like you, Claudia.
Yeah. I just like it. I feel like Instagram's for my like close. I mean, Facebook's for my like close friends, which we can become. We can move over. We can move over if you're watching this. We can move over to Facebook, but let's start Instagram first, and then we'll work our way up.
I don't know. I mean, yeah, I don't know what it is, but you know, I guess we have built our community more on Instagram, but
either
we're everywhere.
Yeah,
maybe we'll do a live there.
Yeah, we should. We should do an Instagram live. That'd be fun.
Oh, yeah. Thank you so much.
Well, I'm sure
thank you, Kati.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, my ladies. It was a pleasure. And again, anybody that has any questions, we are here. Well, they are here. I don't think I can answer you any of those questions, but I can share my experience. Thank you for everybody that's watching. Thank you guys for your time and for sharing your hearts.
Thank you so much, Kati. Like, I swear to you, the minute I met this woman, I thought she was just, I mean, I love Andrea so much, so it makes sense that she has somebody like Kati in her life, but she's just one of the most loving, caring persons that I've ever met. She's so about people. I asked her yesterday, like, what her intention was with all this, and just her heart to promote us. It's such an honor. So thank you so much for taking the time to do this. It really means a lot to me personally. So
it is such a pleasure. You have no idea. Thank you for appreciating it. I love you guys. Bye, everybody. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
I'm going to keep waving until I go away. I said I'll keep waving until you turn it off.
It's not going to.